Good morning, everyone. Tina Spalding Trance Channel here for our daily Course in Miracles lesson. Today we are doing lesson number 101. God's will for me is perfect happiness. Today we will continue with the theme of happiness. This is a key idea in understanding what salvation means. You still believe it asks for suffering as penance for your sins. This is not so. Yet you must think it so while you believe that sin is real and that God's Son can sin. If sin is real, then punishment is just and cannot be escaped. Salvation thus cannot be purchased but through suffering. If sin is real, then happiness must be illusion, for they cannot both be true. The sinful warrant only death and pain, and it is this they ask for they know it waits for them, and it will seek them out and find them somewhere, sometime, in some form that evens the account they owe to God. They would escape him in their fear, and yet he will pursue, and they cannot escape. If sin is real, salvation must be pain. Pain is the cost of sin, and suffering can never be escaped if sin is real. Salvation must be feared, for it will kill but slowly, taking everything away, before it grants the welcome boon of death to victims who are little more than bones before salvation is appeased. Its wrath is boundless, merciless, but wholly just. Who would seek out such savage punishment? Who would not flee salvation and attempt in every way he can to drown the voice which offers it to him? Why would he try to listen and accept its offering? If sin is real, its offering is death, and meted out in cruel form to match the vicious wishes in which sin is born. If sin is real, salvation has become your bitter enemy, the curse of God upon you who have crucified his Son. You need the practice periods today. The exercises teach sin is not real, and all that you believe must come from sin will never happen, for it has no cause. Accept atonement with an open mind which cherishes no lingering belief that you have made a devil of God's Son. There is no sin. We practice with this thought as often as we can today because it is the basis for today's idea. God's will for you is perfect happiness because there is no sin and suffering is causeless. Joy is just and pain is but the sign you have misunderstood yourself. Fear not the will of God, but turn to it in confidence that it will set you free from all the consequences sin has wrought in feverish imagination. Say, God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin. It has no consequence. So should you start your practice periods and then attempt again to find the joy these thoughts will introduce into your mind. Give these 5 minutes gladly to remove the heavy load you lay upon yourself with the insane belief that sin is real. Today, escape from madness. You are set on freedom's road, and now today's idea brings wings to speed you on and hope to go still faster to the waiting goal of peace. There is no sin. Remember this today and tell yourself as often as you can. God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is the truth because there is no sin. And that is lesson 101. And so let's see what Jesus has to say to us today. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. And this smile you see on the face of this being is because of that face on the couch that she loves so dearly. And we know that it is adding quite a nice little touch to these beautiful lessons that you are sharing with us. Sin is not real. If sin is real, you are more powerful than God. You are able to do something that God cannot stop you doing. Do you think that you are that powerful? You are indeed a powerful creator. There is no doubt about it, but you are not as powerful as the Father. You are made in his image indeed, in giving In giving you his image, he has given you the ability to do what you want to do and to create or miscreate along whatever lines you feel are necessary. But you cannot overpower the source of all that is. And so if something has been done to you or by you, or you've witnessed something, you must remember that you are given absolute freedom and that you are not going to be punished for following the guidance that you think is true. For anyone who does anything, thinks it's right, thinks it's going to bring them what they want, they think it's going to bring them closer to their goals, whatever their goals are. But so many of you, dear ones, have had your minds so contaminated with untruth that you are not able to discern when you are off track. You simply are not able to discern it. You have been so deeply indoctrinated through fear and mental and psychic manipulation that you do not even know. And so it is on this path with us here today, doing these lessons, shifting your consciousness, changing your mind, practicing loving thoughts and ideas. It is through this process that the dirt and the dust and the mud on top of your clear mind is being removed, and you will begin to get true guidance. You will begin to get the feeling, this is something that I should do. I don't know why I have this feeling, but this is an important thing for me to do. And that is how the guidance begins. You will get this subtle little itch, a little nagging something or other that's pointing you towards something. It will not be strong enough in the beginning to override all of the contamination in your mind, but you will see as time goes by that this message gets stronger and stronger. It is there consistently, not pushing, not yelling, not arguing, but it is there. And in the end, it will become strong enough for you to listen to it and say, this is something that I am going to do. You may have to fit it in around your schedule. You may have to rearrange some things to get to this idea. But you can just entertain ideas. This is one of the beautiful things about your consciousness. You can just think about that thing. You can envision yourself doing that thing. You can imagine yourself feeling good doing that thing that you are now inspired to do. It could be writing a book. It could be traveling. It could be growing a beautiful flower garden. It could be anything. So you can get the feeling of it by just imagining it, just allowing some space in your consciousness. And this is one of the reasons we tell you not to be on your phones all the time, so that you might sit on a park bench looking at the ducks swimming on the pond without the phone in your hand, without the texts pinging all the time, distracting you from what is right in front of you, in fact, the holy instant where you can create what you want to experience. This is one of the sabotaging effects of these technologies that you carry with you all the time. You never have freedom to just be, quiet the mind, gaze at the horizon, and allow those inspired ideas to surface in your mind. So the next time you go for a walk, turn your phone off and leave it at home. It will still be there when you get back. But witness how much more peace you have. Witness that you see you don't need to be hooked in all the time to messaging systems such as exist in your society now. We know this is a difficult one for many of you because your businesses and your relationships seem to depend on these constant interactions. But we will tell you an hour out in the woods without your phone will do nothing but improve your connection to the divine. I am that one that you know as Jesus. And I will speak to you again tomorrow. I do smile when I see that face. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.